Hello, Sisters Unbothered, and welcome back to another Unmasked series training. This week, we are talking about unmasking at work. We've been talking all along in this series about the real reasons why we are so exhausted, so overwhelmed, so overworked, so over everything. And this is the truth. We say that we're resting, but a lot of us are actually not doing the work to actually rest. Rest is not just being in denial about what's happening around you. Rest is not just not doing something physically or removing yourself and isolating yourself from people and doing nothing but what you enjoy. Rest is liberation. Rest is resistance. Rest has to be intentional. Rest is not a reward for our productivity. It's a portal to liberation. And a lot of us are saying that we are resting, but in reality, we actually are still showing up at work and not doing the inner work to ensure that we are setting boundaries and ensuring that our workplace is a safe space, not just for ourselves, but for others. So I am Coach Nikki Cates, and I want to welcome you. This will be a training speaking directly to all of my high capacity Black and brown women who lead, serve, manage, and keep everything running, even while you're running on empty. Now, if you're feeling exhausted and overlooked, even when you think that you're doing everything right, this training is for you, because what we're experiencing isn't just burnout. It's much deeper than that. So let's jump right in. Hey, so can I just tell you, this ain't just about burnout. So many times we try to find the answers to our issues dealing with surface level things. So if it's just burnout, we just need to manage our time better. We just need to get better sleeping hours. We just need to set boundaries and no longer allow ourselves to binge watch Netflix all night. We've tried the wellness workshops. We've tried the breathing exercises. We've tried the planners. We've tried all of these fake balance initiatives to create a space where we feel at peace. And sometimes we actually do get there. But the truth is, wellness won't save us if the system keeps extracting from us. We're continually trying to pour. This is why your relationship with God on a daily basis is so important, and a relationship with yourself. Because daily you're going to have to be replenished, because the system is built to continually extract from you. Okay? Like extracting resources from precious, sacred, holy, valuable lands. As Tricia Hersey reminds us, rest is not a reward for productivity. It's a portal of liberation. And we have been conditioned to believe that it is our productivity that signifies our value. And that is not true. And the funny thing about it is that if you look at those that are telling us this is the truth, they don't prove their value, usually through productivity. A lot of times they don't even have to prove their value. So I want you to understand that we need to start seeing rest, as Tricia Hersey says in her book, Rest is Resistance, as a portal to our liberation. Okay? What you're feeling isn't personal failure, my sisters. It's the weight of systems that were never built with your wholeness in mind. I want you to keep in mind that we are living out a system that was built couple hundred years ago, that never intended for us to be anything more than productive. Our education systems were built to keep us in that space, and corporate America was built to keep us in that space, amongst many other things in our culture and our society. So, I don't want you to feel hopeless. I just am learning myself that just for us recognizing this and being aware, we are able to move different, to think different, to shift our mindsets, and begin to show up differently so that we can benefit instead of just burning out. Okay? All right, let's move on. 3 core reasons that Black, Indigenous women of color stay tired, even when we do everything right. So let's talk about this. Let's break this down, shall we? Number 1, and keep in mind, y'all, this is not exhaustive. This is just some insights that I personally have taken from things I have read and things I have experienced or thought about. Okay? I'm sure this list could be very much longer. Number 1, we've internalized the hustle of survival, which is what capitalism is built upon. You've been grinding because you think it's the only way to earn God's favor or success, but grace works differently. And that's Miss Shae Bynes in her book, Grace Over Grind. Now, granted, she's speaking from a spiritual perspective, but this is also mirrored in our everyday natural lives as well. This complex that we have to earn everything, which means we have to perform or produce in order to receive. And God doesn't work that way, for sure. And neither should it work that way in life either. We shouldn't have to earn our partner's love. We shouldn't have to earn loyalty from our friends. We shouldn't have to earn respect from our children. We shouldn't have to earn to be treated like humans in our work environment. But we've tied our worth to output because that's the world that we live in. Our faith and our fatigue are tangled up in the same lies. But what did we talk about lies before? We no longer have to believe them, which means that they will lose their power. Number 2, we are carrying generational fatigue. It's bigger than us, okay? Mary Frances Winter says in her book, Black Fatigue, that Black fatigue is the cumulative emotional, physical, and psychological toll of being Black in America. Code switching, microaggressions, emotional labor, it's not occasional, it's chronic, it's consistent. And those concepts of respectability politics that saved our ancestors in the past, we are starting to shed here in the present. And I think that's a great thing. Because no matter how much we try to do right in their eyes, it's never enough. So it's time to show up authentically and bring what we uniquely bring to this culture and this society and protect it. Can I get an amen? Number 3, self-sacrifice has been masked as love. Bell Hooks wrote in her book, Sisters of the Yam, we cannot serve others from a place of depletion. In that book, she's talking about self-recovery. And if you will look up the word self-recovery, or specifically recovery, you're talking about being in a place of depletion and having to be replenished. Okay? And that's what we're talking about here. We have a habit of depleting ourselves and then having to replenish ourselves. Now, I'm not talking about the standard, I've done a lot of physical work and I'm tired. I'm talking about doing this from a chronic perspective, which most of us are still conditioned to do. We overwork, overcommit, overgive. We overfunction in the name of commitment and obligation. But let me ask you again. We ask this question often in the Unmasked series. Who really benefits from our exhaustion? So then I beg you, where are you still performing for protection? Are they going to protect you? Or do you need to stand up and protect yourself, your energy, your time, your sanity, your inner peace, your relationship with the Lord, your dreams, your calling, your purpose, your wealth, your health? Just something to think about, my sister. So, let me share something with you that you probably already know, but just hadn't thought about it. I think we just mentioned it in a previous slide. You can't heal in the same system that's draining you. Why? Because it's constantly extracting from you. Tricia Hersey wrote in her book, Rest is Resistance, that the system isn't broken. It was built this way. Professionalism was not designed by us, okay? And whoever designed it didn't design it for the well-being and wholeness of the people that were meant to be a part of the main elements of this machine that they've built. It was built on disconnection, detachment, and constant, consistent, overburdening output. But God did not create us for that. He built us for liberation. That means your boundaries, your emotions, your rest are not liabilities. They are your tools. Okay? They are no longer optional from this moment forward because now you know. To know better is to do better. You are not wrong for setting boundaries. You are not wrong for paying attention to why stepping into your workplace makes you feel the way it does. Why do you automatically tense up when you log in or clock in? Even working from home, you can still experience these same things. It's time for you to have a conversation with your Lord to find out what the plan is. Because that is not the plan for the rest of your life. A lot of us force ourselves to continue to be a square peg in a circle hole. And we are miserable until we either retire or leave this earth. And I am encouraging you, my sisters, to begin to see the tools that have been given to you. Okay? Insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over, getting the same results. It is no longer optional for us to overlook the tools that we have to create a better space around ourselves and those that we care about. All right? No longer optional. The system is what it is, and until it is disrupted and a reckoning takes place in this country, it is what it is. So we have to learn how to not only recognize that, but find, as I spoke about before in Melissa Harris Perry's book, Sister Citizen, how to stand upright in this crooked room. And a lot of us, our workplaces are crooked rooms. And a lot of us settle for standing crooked with the room, which is exhausting. Okay? Granted, imagine physically if you were standing to an angle for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Imagine how your body would feel. Imagine what that would do to you mentally, even spiritually, because you're like, God, why are you allowing me to go through this? When it's in your hands. It's in your hands to recognize that the space is crooked and you are not standing upright. So think about that. The system is what it is right now. How are you standing up straight and upright in a crooked room so that God can use you and you can find fulfillment in what you spend the majority of your waking hours doing on a daily basis? All right, y'all. So before we get to the end of this training, I want to introduce to you this new invitation to reset. Now, granted, this is going to be a 7-day challenge for you all to reset for unmasking at work. Keep in mind that it, like we said earlier, this is something you're going to have to continue to do consistently, but hopefully it will help you to shift your mindset and your motivations so that your intentions will be for you and for who God called you to be. And it will allow you to have the motivations to stick to a daily routine of ensuring that your mind and your heart and your spirit are in a strong and stable place before entering into your workspace. So if you are tired of over-functioning just to be seen, then this is for you. I have created the Unmask at Work 7 days to reclaim your peace, power, and purpose. I created this specifically for Black, Indigenous women of color in service-driven spaces who are tired of surviving the workplace and are ready to reclaim their leadership from a grounded place. Now, you may not be carrying the position of leader, but I assure you, you are leading in some way, managing in some way. When I became a certified project manager, one thing that I learned that was just mind blowing to me is almost every woman is already a project manager in some way. Whether you are planning events for your families, whether it's you're managing and administrating a household, managing at your job, managing at your church, a lot of us already have the skills, the soft skills required to lead and manage, even if we do not hold a management position in our workplaces. But again, we talk about this thing called productivity and performance, which is where we mask ourselves so that we can show up and meet whatever the need is we're being told to meet, right? Because that is the whole point of work, is to fulfill a solution to a problem. But I want you to know this right here is not a productivity thing. This is a reset. It's an opportunity for you to take a few minutes out of a day to totally think about this and really begin to think about what you really want, who God truly says that you are, and how He's expecting you to move in this world and in your environment. And be free. Be free from the systems that want to continue to keep you in a negative space. Because when you begin to recognize it, you'll begin to set boundaries. You'll begin to surrender what you need to surrender and who you need to surrender to the Lord. Because I assure you, I have learned how to say it's above me and mean it. Literally with my hands, handing it over to the Lord and saying, I don't want this. I don't know what to do with it. I can't handle it. Please handle this for me. Okay? He is our deliverer. He is our redeemer. And He will avenge for us. So, handing over what we cannot change and changing what we can. That's what we talk about in this Unmasked series. So, I encourage you to keep an eye open. If you've been holding it all together on the outside and you've been falling apart privately, if you break out in a sweat before you even get out your car and go into your place of employment, this is going to be your soft landing where you're going to be able to take some time and really do the thinking that you need to do and the connecting and realigning so that you can figure out where you really should be. I will be releasing this to you all later this week. So please stay tuned. Make sure you're following my socials. And even better, if you are connected to the Sisters Unbothered community on Substack, you will have access to everything through there without missing anything as it comes through. Okay? All right. I'm so excited for you all to take a look at this because it's free now. It will not be free the next time that I release all of this. And I want to know what you think and if it's helpful when you are able to go through this 7-day training. All right? Because we are healing here. This is our healing journey. And part of our resistance is becoming whole, recovering and becoming healthy. No more toxicity, my sisters. All right? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I hope that this was helpful, at least a little bit. If anything resonated with you, please reach out. Let me know. Holla at me. Let me know if you want to hop on the group coaching call on Saturday or if you'd like some one-on-one coaching to further go through this process of healing. Really, that's ultimately what it's about, is just following this healing journey to a place of rest and inner peace and no longer walking around masked, y'all. I believe that the Lord gave me this concept of unmasking for a reason, because a lot of us are walking around being performative as opposed to being concerned about what we really need to be concerned about. And that's the things that we can change, which typically begins within ourselves. Okay? All right. Well, here is our closing affirmation. Tomorrow, if you're following the Sisters Unbothered Community Unmasked series right now, you will see tomorrow that another set of affirmations are being released specifically for your professional environment. So this one here, I don't believe is actually on there. So you get an extra affirmation. Say it with me. I lead on my own terms. I protect my boundaries. I no longer negotiate my peace for performance. Now, I want to remind you, my sisters, you are not lazy. You're not too sensitive. You are tired of systems that keep asking you to prove that you belong. Okay? Now, it's time for you to unmask, reset, and lead whole as God intended. I love you, and I will see you next week.